Hey, Tom.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Perfect. Good. Just realised that I've left my ball outside, so I'm just going to go grab it. But guys, get your mats ready. We'll just begin it in like 30 seconds. All right. Here we got Nick, Paul, Marissa. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Right, I'm just going to mute everyone now and get moving. So you're going to need a mat, maybe a roller, but preferably a ball of some description, and you can always just use like a tennis ball or something like this. Anything that you can kind of, if you imagine like putting something underneath your foot and rolling around on it, that's the kind of movement that we want to be doing. Does anyone have any questions about that before we get started? Excellent. Okay, all right, I'm going to mute everyone. If you've got questions, obviously just unmute yourself. I know that Tom normally does this session as sort of a little bit of stretching and a little bit of breath work. So I am not as up to date with the kind of breath work that he's going to be doing. So I'm going to focus more on full body stretch, full body massage, like really just spending about 45 minutes to an hour getting going. At the end, we'll just take a little bit of relaxation. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the mat, nice and slowly. I want you to just come into a hanging position, all right? So you want your legs to be nice and straight. You want your weight to be mostly in the front of the foot, so really gripping the mat with your toes. Okay, pulling the knees back and the hips up and then folding the body down. If you're quite flexible, grab onto your elbows so you can still continue to pull downwards without your hands getting in the way. If you're not as flexible, then just reach for those toes, really trying to think about pull the belly up and away. Pull the shoulders down and the head tucked under. In this position now, I want you to keep your feet grounded and just rotate around to the left and the right a few times, just exploring the sides of the hamstrings. Maybe one side feels tighter and more uncomfortable. Nice, guys. Then come back to that middle section again, just folding, hanging, just lengthening the body out, getting the spine loose. Okay, then we're going to take our hands down onto the mat. Hopefully you can press your full hands down, don't worry if not. You're going to walk forwards into a plank shape. Okay, and we're going to bring our left leg forwards to start. Put it on the outside of that left hand. You're going to drop the knee onto the floor, relax the back foot. And I want you to, before we go down any deeper, just push the hips forwards. Okay, so you're going to start to feel quite a strong stretch through the groin area. Okay, maybe on the inside of the hip, maybe on the back leg at the front. Okay, from that position there, I want you to rotate around Okay, so coming over the top and just stretch that arm up to the sky. So you should now start to feel a bit of a stretch to the back as the spine rotates. If you can pull that arm a little bit further around. Okay, and then we're going to take both hands back to the inside of the foot. See if we can get the elbows to go down. So still pushing the hips through. The closer your elbows are to that hand, the deeper the stretch. Trying to push further and further forwards. Okay, so we're just going to spend about 1 minute in this position. So try and get comfortable. Let the knee fall out to the side if it wants to do so. Okay, and if the heel wants to come slightly off the floor as you kind of drive further forwards, that's also fine as well. Maybe you like a little bit of movement in the stretch. You can maybe rock side to side, but try and keep the foot down. Okay, we're about halfway through, team. Okay, I'm coming into the final few seconds, so I want you to slowly bring yourself back up onto the hand. You're going to lift up that back leg as high as you can, keeping the hips driving down. And then you're just going to reach behind that same stretch, grab the back of the foot and pull the foot towards your butt. Okay, from this position here, I want you to squeeze, so get the butt muscle and squeeze it down so your hips drive further forwards. We're looking for a strong stretch into the glutes, the quads. Just talking about the glutes. So that quad should feel like it's getting a really nice, intense stretch. If you're flexible, you can take that front arm down. And if you want to, you can increase that rotation, so looking up towards the sky, opening your chest. Nice, guys. Keep holding, so find that stretch where it's kind of moderately intense, something that you can hold on to. If it's too much, just relax slightly out of the stretch. Okay, release the back foot, so let the foot come down first. Okay, we're going to come back up onto the hands facing forwards. Okay, I want you to tuck your toe underneath, and we're going to lift that knee up off the floor, so it's straightening that back leg. Okay, we're going to take the hands off the floor, so start to make sure you're balanced in between your front and back foot. Okay, you're going to lift the chest, keeping that knee where it is, squeezing the butt. And again, you should feel the stretch in the quad, but slightly more at the top of the leg. If you find this uncomfortable, guys, you can just drop the knee down for a second, shake it out, and then go again. Hips forwards, lift the knee. It's a bit of a strength work, this one. All right, let's drop the knee down, but keep the front legs as they are, so it's still driving the hip forwards. This time you're going to take that back leg and you're going to rotate it 90 degrees. So now the hips are very, very open. The front leg is in the same place with the knee facing forwards across the mat, and the back leg, you've got this stretch coming onto the inside of the groin here, okay, as you push the hips forwards. Your chest is going to fall diagonally into the middle, okay, with the two legs. So just explore that stretch for a moment. This is my cat friend today. I've literally got my face in his face. Okay guys, I'm going to hold this one for another 30 seconds or so. If you want to get deeper, you can come down onto those elbows. It'll be slightly more obvious when I do this on the other leg. All right, so let's untwist that back leg. Okay, we're going to tuck the toe underneath. We're going to come out of this lunge finally. Okay, so I want you to lift the back knee up, straighten that front leg, and we're going to come into a hamstring stretch. We're going to start with the toe facing down onto the floor. Okay? So try and push that back heel down towards the ground. Try and straighten that front knee out. Okay, don't worry if you can't get the perfect split. If you want to readjust, that's fine. Ideally, you want fingers or hands down onto the ground, but you can use a prop if you need to. Okay, so fingertips, or get like a little block of foam roller. Okay, I'm going to hold here for a second. If you're finding it's comfortable, just reach that chest down and pull the belly button in, lower the chest. Slightly wet feet. All right, staying in this position, and now I want you to focus on this front foot. Okay, so keep the leg nice and straight. We're going to take the front foot and we're going to lift the toe up, pushing the heel down. Then we're going to drop the toe back down to the floor. Okay, so we're flexing and extending this ankle joint. You might find that one is more intense than the other. I feel it on the top when I'm here, and then when I lift up, I tend to feel it a bit more on the bottom. I want you to do this 5 times, holding each position for a couple of seconds. Nice. Then we're going to put the knee back down, the back knee back on the floor. Okay, we're going to do a pigeon now, but follow with me for a second. So you're going to take your foot across the opposite side of the mat where your hand just was. Okay, you're going to grab hold of that foot with that hand, and then you're going to put your knee down as close to the ground as possible so it's parallel with your foot. If you can't get it all the way to the ground, it just won't go, that's no problem. I want you to work into that space. Okay, if it does go down, the next thing that you're going to focus on is trying to get those hips lowered to the floor. Okay, and I want you to sort of bounce around in this space. So I find just pressing through my foot at the back, sort of bouncing my hips up and down helps me to stretch into this. So this is our pigeon. There you guys. Now we've got comfortable in this stretch. I'm going to start the clock for 1 more minute in our pigeon. If you're feeling comfortable, obviously you can come down onto those elbows or even down onto the chest. Okay, whatever feels good for you. Try and make sure that that foot doesn't move though, so it's helpful to clamp it down. Okay, we've got 30 seconds left on this pigeon. Alright guys, so we're gently going to come out of this. And I just want you to take a second and just lie down on the mat. However feels comfortable. Okay, we finished on one side. Legs probably feeling slightly uneven at the minute. And then once you've taken 30 seconds or so just to breathe, get yourself ready for the other side. All right, coming back onto hands and knees, we're going to take the right leg forwards and push the hips down into our lunge shape. Okay, make sure that the toes are facing forwards. You don't really want to be facing out to the side. If they do fall out to the side, that probably means that's where your body naturally wants to go at the moment. But the kind of point of stretching is to find new range. Okay, so if it's more difficult to point toes forwards, you're going to have to keep working at it in order to build that range. Nice guys. All right, let's take the knee out to the side a couple of times, so just pull that knee out. Once we've done that a few times, I want you to try and explore those elbows coming down. If you want to add that rotation in as well with your right hand, you can do it on your elbow or you can do it on your hand, that's absolutely fine. Just lift the chest up, pulling around, feeling it in that spine and upper back. Then taking the elbows back down, finding that strong lizard stretch. Clock's going to start 1 minute. Let that knee fall out to the side if it wants to do so, but keep the foot flat. Keep pushing those hips forward. You should feel it in your groin area. We have 30 seconds left. All right, as we come to the end of this stretch, we're going to pick up that back leg, come up onto the hands. Okay, we're going to reach around the same side that we did our rotation, grab the back of the foot. Okay, and we're going to pull the hips in, squeeze the glutes, and drive forwards until we find that strong quad stretch. Okay, you can open up your chest, have that twist if that feels comfortable for you. And you can come down onto your elbow as well, if that feels comfortable. All right, so let go of that back leg, let it relax down for a second. Come onto your hands if you're on your elbow. Okay, so we're going to try the dragon stretch again. So we're going to tuck the toe underneath. We're going to lift the chest up. Okay, and from this position, you can hold onto an object if you want. We're going to keep the hips forwards and just lift that back knee, squeezing through the top of the leg. Okay, make sure the hips stay tucked under, so squeeze your glutes. That should increase the stretch. Push forwards off the back toe if you want to get slightly deeper. I'm going to hold this for a few seconds, and then when you're ready, you can drop down and come back up again. Okay. If you're happy just holding it there, keep holding. Okay, maybe one more time if you're dropping down, if you're still holding, it's in the last few seconds. Pop that knee down. So we're going to come into our twisted dragon now. So drive forward with those hips as far as you can. Take that back leg, rotate it to 90 degrees, so it's parallel to your knee. Okay, so make sure that the knee doesn't drop in, that we keep that facing forwards. Okay, chest is obviously going to drop into the middle because we've opened up the hips a lot. Okay, if you're happy here, you can feel it here, then just stay as you are. If you do want to come down deeper, you can drop onto the elbows. I'm quite happy here. It's enough for me. I often use my elbow actually to push that knee, keep pushing that knee out. So if you find that helpful, feel free to add that kind of resistance there. Whew. Makes me sweat. All right, let's rotate that back leg. Okay, so we're going to come into our hamstring stretch next, so make sure that back toe is tucked under. Okay, we're going to start by keeping the foot down, remember, so toes down, straighten out as much as you can, that front leg. Using the toes at the back, you're going to pull the knee up and try and straighten the other leg as well. Okay, so ideally you need toes onto the ground, fingers onto the ground, or an object, if you need some slight elevation with the hands. Okay, and start to pull that belly button down. Some people can get their like chest into the crazy people. Okay, good. Feel out the stretch, because in a minute we're going to start to move that foot. All right, guys, you know what to do. 5 times. We're going to lift the toes up, push the heel down, keep that leg as straight as you can. Hold it for a few seconds, and then push the toes back down to the floor, really driving that foot forwards. Pull back up, find that full range, squeeze the toes, and then push back down. In your own time, guys, really take your time on these stretches. If you're finding you're finishing things a long time before I finished, you're probably going too fast and you're not really feeling or experiencing the stretch. Wherever you think the end is, it's probably not there. Probably a little bit further. Okay, when you have finished your 5, guys, the next thing we're doing is that pigeon stretch. So put your back knee down onto the ground. Take that front foot across the mat, lock it down, grab hold of it, okay, and then try and push that knee to the mat parallel to the foot. Yeah, if it doesn't go down and you can feel the stretch already, that's your stretch. Okay, you can always kind of take the back foot off to put more weight through it if you want to. Okay, back knee. If it does go down, you're going to relax that back leg a bit more and really focus on trying to push the hips to the floor. Okay, so this is our pigeon stretch. It's much tighter for me on this side than it is the other side, so I cannot get as much range. Work into that space. Try and find that uncomfortable comfortability where you can sort of just hold it and work into it. And now you've hopefully found it. I'm going to start this clock for 1 minute. Halfway through this stretch, guys. Try and sink a little bit deeper wherever you've got to. That comfortable range is hopefully extended a little bit. All right, I want you to take that leg back, lie down onto the mat for a second and take your little rest. Okay, we're done on the legs mostly now. We're just going to do the calves. All right, so put your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up to hands and knees, tuck the toes underneath, and adjust slightly if you need to. And we're going to push the hips up into a downward dog position. Okay, so the legs, we've stretched them quite a lot, so you should go slightly mobile now. So I want you to see if you can push those heels down towards the ground and lift up the hips and knees. Okay, see how far you can get. If you're still struggling with that, just pedal one at a time. Okay, see if you can work those calves down towards the ground. Okay, from that position with both heels driving down, I want you to push your hips to the right. Okay, so focusing on that right leg. Hold it for a second. You should feel it in the right calf. So I can almost take the left foot off the front. Then we're going to come across to the left side. So most of my weight shifted across. Foot is flat. Hips are to the left of my foot slightly. Hold for a few seconds. Okay, you can do this a couple of times on each side. If you want to, you can lift out your foot and tuck it behind so you can get more focus. Nice, and for the last time, let's focus on both again. So if you want to, you can do sort of bend the knees, push, that's more comfortable for you. If you're happy just pushing into that stretch, you can hold that stretch, focusing on those legs. 3, 2, 1. All right, bend the knees slightly. We're going to take focus now to the shoulders. So I want you to push your head through your shoulders and then relax back up. Okay, as we do this, don't let the shoulders rotate out. So I want you to think about pulling the armpits in towards your ears. Okay, holding that position, it's sort of active, almost like you're trying to pull the shoulders in. You're going to go in and out of that stretch 5 times. And then you're going to put your knees down onto the floor and come out for a downward dog. Shoulders maybe a little bit tired from that. Okay, I'm just going to move my mat slightly for the next thing. So we're going to come into lying position from your hands and knees. Okay. Hopefully everyone's still with me on this.
Yeah, just dying on mute.
Say again?
Just dying on mute.
Okay, excellent. You knew a restoration class could kill you. Oh, I've just noticed my leg was pretty much. All right, so left arm is going to come out, okay? Palm is flat down, shoulder is locked onto the floor. You've probably done this before. Your right arm is going to be next to your shoulder. You're going to push up and over the right leg. Okay, so this left shoulder stays locked firmly down. You're going to lift up with the right arm, stretching across. Hold there for a few seconds. See if you can pull that right arm further, further, further. You're going to feel it intensely through that left shoulder. All right, over to the other side. Same thing, should be able to just rotate over. Guys, obviously only go as far as feels comfortable for you, okay? A lot of these things, I'm fairly mobile and you may not be in the same position at all, and that's completely fine, okay? Don't try and reach something super uncomfortable for you right now. Okay, we're going to do this one more time on each side, but I am going to make it a little more difficult. So your range is going to be much more limited this time, okay? But it just gives you some options. So your left arm is going to come out and then you're going to rotate so the hand is perpendicular, yeah? So right angle at the elbow, okay? Keeping that shoulder locked down is much harder, okay? So very, very limited range. You're going to lock the shoulder down as much as you can and just slowly peel your right shoulder off the floor until you can feel that stretch. Hopefully you heard all of that. Okay, so maybe your foot comes up, maybe not. You can feel the stretch, then that is fine. So you're going to feel this through your pecs, through your shoulders. All right, so let's take it over to the other side. So the same thing, right hand extends out, then at the elbow, we're going to rotate to a 90-degree angle, keeping that right shoulder down. Adjust your body for whatever feels comfortable for you. Start to peel that left shoulder up. You can use your fingers as a sort of resistance to push. Good. All right, we're going to go stretch into the spine a little bit as well, okay? Because we haven't done much. We have done a bit of spinal rotation, but not too much. Okay, so both hands are going to come out to the side now, so you're in a sort of cross shape.
Okay, you want to keep both arms down, okay, because that takes the stretch away from the shoulders and into the spine. So from this position, you're going to lift up your right leg, you're going to reach across the body and try and touch your left hand, okay, so extend as much as you can, open up the knee. Don't worry if your shoulders come up a little bit. Okay, back down and over to the other side. Okay, we're going to do it 2 more times on each side, but a little bit quicker. All right, so reach, back down, reach, back down. Okay, good guys. All right, push with your hands underneath your shoulders into our hands and knees position. We're going to do a couple of sit-throughs just to get some rotation into that shoulder joint, and then we're going to open up in the opposite direction to the way we've just stretched. Okay? So, tuck the toes under, knees are going to come up. We're going to pick up our right knee and our left hand. Okay, so you're going to be in that unstable position, and we're going to rotate through. You can put the foot down onto the floor to keep stability, but you're looking to rotate through this shoulder here. Okay, so as we come back, I'm going to focus on this shoulder. Rotate, put everything back down. Okay, rest if you need to. I want you to do this 3 times on each side, just practice feeling the rotation. So other side, opposite hand, opposite leg, rotation, rotation. All right, if you really struggle with this movement, you can do it as a side plank, sort of twist, okay? So from the plank position, you're going to twist through the shoulder in this direction and this direction. Okay, but see if you can do the sit through. On your very last one, I want you to just sit down onto the mat the other way around, okay? So you're just going to perform the sit through and sit on your back. Almost at the end of our stretching now, guys. We have one more stretch to do, and then we're going to get our balls foam rolls out. All right, so everyone's sitting down on their mats, hopefully. We're going to start with the hands facing backwards because this is slightly easier, and then we're going to move to hands facing forwards, okay? So fingers facing backwards. I want you to lift the hips up, pushing through your chest. Okay, you're going to do that 5 times. Try and get a little bit further each time. Then I want you to rotate those hands round. If you can't get them all the way around, sort of just slightly out to the side is completely fine. Okay? Ideally, fingers facing forwards. So same thing, 5 times, pushing up. You're going to feel a more intense stretch through the front of the shoulder now. Okay, rest for a second. Shake those wrists out, roll them around a few times because they've just been worked, stretched. Okay, so we're going to take this into our final stretch, which is going to be a crab, okay? So for our crab, it's a crab reach actually. I'm going to rotate my mat slightly again. Okay, so for our crab, we're going to come into table first. This is our tabletop. Adjust your feet if you need to, so you've got a balance between hands and feet. Okay, you're going to lift one of the hands up, and you're going to reach behind you as far as you can go. Okay, so again, guys, you might want to start doing this with your hands facing backwards. That's absolutely fine. And then maybe see if you can adjust that hand position. You're going to do 3 on each side. And I want you to hold that stretch at the top for 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so as you come into this position, count 3, 2, 1. Okay. For anyone uber flexible, so maybe Narissa, you can turn this into a crab bridge, okay? I'll demonstrate the movement if you're interested, but don't worry if you're not. Okay, so if you can touch the floor with your hand, then basically you can take it into a bridge. So you need to twist your other hand around, and you can take it into the bridge shape. So that's an option to scale up. You need to twist your hand. Oh, Carolus is there as well. Hey, Carolus. Okay, guys. So once you've done that a few times on each side, you're going to need your ball, if you've got it. If you're sharing ball, Carolus, no, so you can just take your hands on this, or you can like alternate between using foam roll or whatever. Okay. Everyone ready for ball stuff? Wickets. Okay. We are going to start with the feet. Nice. So you're going to place the ball onto the floor. Start with your right foot. You're going to put the ball onto the middle of the foot, and you're going to draw about 10 circles around the ball. Notice where it feels a bit tighter. So we're starting in the middle of the foot, but you might notice that the inside, so the arch of the foot, is a little bit tighter. So maybe you're going to take the ball to the arch, roll on there for a couple of strokes. That's really tight for me. Or maybe you notice the very outside of the foot is quite tight, where the pinky toe is. Is it called a pinky toe? Anyway, maybe you're going to come onto the heel, drive through that heel, and notice that that's kind of tight. Okay. Wherever you feel that tightness, another sort of 10-20 rolls. It should feel quite nasty, to be honest, guys. So if it doesn't feel very nasty, maybe put a little bit more pressure. All right, let's take it over to the other side. So again, start in the middle, roll around a few circles here and there, identify those tight points. I'm going straight for the arch. Woo. This is something, guys, that you should probably do fairly regularly, especially if you run, or you do a lot of like hip jumping stuff. I left my rings outside, and the chef has just been hanging on them. All right, let's come down. He's not an actual chef. He's just wearing chef outfit right now. All right, we're going to come into the calves. So lying down, or sitting down, sorry, with the foot flat. I want you to start right at the tendons, the Achilles tendon, underneath at the top of the ankle, okay? So you're just going to very gently, you can use your other leg to kind of lift up so you can get a little bit more movement with your butt off the ground, okay? The foot helps you to not put too much weight through that ball. Just roll around on that Achilles tendon area, gentle, gentle, okay? So the tendons often get inflamed or sore when muscles get tight, because they're sort of stretched. I don't know, I'm not sure this is particularly scientific, but they get stretched because the muscle is shorter. So when they're inflamed, we need to kind of help to loosen them up, but be very, very gentle with them. Okay? So then we're going to roll the ball a little bit further up, so into the bottom of that calf muscle. Do not neglect the sides, okay? So maybe you're going to rotate slightly out so the ball rolls on the inside of that calf. And then maybe we take it across so the ball rolls on the outside of that calf. Maybe one side is much tighter than the other for you. All right. I want you to just hold the ball on, identify a tight point and get the ball on that tight point. And what we're going to do now is hold still, and we're going to do what we did with the hamstring stretch, and we're going to move this foot around. Okay, so I want you to pull the toes all the way up, press down quite hard on that ball, and then I want you to push the toes all the way forward. Whew, that one's so much worse for me. All right, try that a couple of times on that tight point. So obviously as the toes come up, we're shortening. As the foot comes forwards, we're relaxing. Okay, now we're going to do the thing we did earlier as well, where we went left to, did we do this? Might be thinking about someone else. My other class, sorry. So we're going to take the foot across to the left, okay, and then take the toes across to the right. Nice. Okay, we're not looking to move the leg, we're literally just pulling the toes in as if you're trying to get your toe to the left of your leg and then out to the right, flaring your toes out to the right. Okay, good. All right, let's take the ball a little bit further up into the middle of that calf, or high at the top of the calf if you're already in the middle. Roll it around a little bit more. Guys, if you find any of these positions are tight and we're not spending enough time on them, feel free to come back to them, but I need to keep moving through, otherwise we won't get through everything. Okay. And then roll it all the way to the top. Oh, that's tight on the inside. All right, so we're going to take the ball a little bit further up now. We're going to just stay with the same leg for a little bit longer, okay? So into the hamstring, we've got 3 main hamstrings, okay? So have a little experiment across the whole of the hamstring. Again, use your hands and your foot to elevate that leg so you can work into it. Get nice and deep. Maybe the top is tighter for you, definitely tighter for me, right where the tendon from the glute into the hamstring. That's where I find the most tightness in my leg. Maybe it's the middle for you. Wherever that point is, we're gonna try and sit onto it. So the ball is gonna sit nice and deep. Just slowly relax the muscle till you can get nice and deep onto that stretch. And then we're gonna do the same thing with that foot. Okay, where we move it forwards. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Move that foot forwards and backwards. See how it changes. Okay, so I want you to move that ball all the way up into the base of the glute now. So you're essentially going to sit onto the ball with your butt, okay? Start right at the bottom near the hamstring, just roll around on there, and then move up into the center of the glute, so right in the middle, maximus. Have a little roll there. Then I want you to rotate your hips so you can get right onto the outside of that glute. Okay. Wherever you had tightness, the most tightness, I want you to come back to that point. Okay, so for me, it's right here, just below the maximus. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the glute and you're slowly going to relax that glute muscle so you can sit deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into that stretch. Then I want you to squeeze the glute really hard and then you're going to relax again. Deeper, 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 deeper. Relax as much as you can. Squeeze. Relax. So we'll do this a couple of times on that same point. And then maybe let's find one new point on the glute. Okay, so I'm going to rotate onto the outside of my glutes. That's pretty tight as well. Okay, squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Wherever you think the base of your relax is, it's probably not. So spend an extra second seeing if you can relax even more. Squeeze. Last one. Relax. Okay. Last thing on this leg, we're going to go onto the IT band. So this runs all the way along the side of the leg and it's often quite tight, especially for runners as well. So start at the very top. So it's almost like the side of that glute, but just where it meets the quad. Okay. And I want you to roll, use your fingertips as well to adjust the pressure as needed. Slowly rolling further down. So you might find that just quite a lot of people find just by their knee, it's quite sore, where it connects into that knee joint. Good, and maybe you're going to rotate around so there's a little bit more of that quad. Excuse me the noises, it's my foot on the floor. Good, all right, let's finish on that leg. Take yourself a second. Get yourself ready to do the other leg, starting with that calf, so right at the base where you meet the ankle. Okay, just explore for now because it's fairly relaxing at the beginning, just exploring what's tight. And guys, I'm going to let you just explore the whole calf by yourself for now. So experiment around left to right. You're going to identify those tight points. Wherever you found that really tight point, you're going to stop, let the body relax onto the ball, and then we're going to press the heel forwards, toes back, and then we're going to press the toes forwards, relaxing onto that ball. Okay, a couple of times in that really tight spot. Okay, let's find one more tight spot. So just around till you can find, oh, that's it, rotation there. It's really tight today. Okay, and then experiment with that foot. Remember, you can also go left to right with the foot. So start off by seeing what really gets into that spot for you. Yeah. Where does the time go? We've been doing this for 45 minutes. Well done, team. All right, let's take it up into the hamstring area. Okay, so just roll around on that hamstring for a second. Let's move my mat, it's going to chasing me. Okay, identify where that tight spot is. You might even want to come to the inside of the legs. Quite a lot of people have tight adductors. Right, wherever that tight spot is, you're going to find it, you're going to sit onto it, lift that foot slightly off the floor, and start moving that foot around so you can get into that hamstring. Maybe you want to just roll around on the hamstring, guys, whatever feels good for you. I'm struggling to find the tightness on this side, so I'm going to roll a bit more. Okay. Right, we're going to get all the way up into the fun part, the glute. So again, start right at the base where the hamstring connects in. Check that area out. Come up into the middle, right on the ass cheek. Check that area out. And then rotate the hips slightly so you get right onto the side of that glute. For me, that's the tightest area today. So find that point. If it's all really tight, just pick something. Squeeze the butt really hard as you can, and then relax as much as you can all the way down deep into that glute muscle. That ball's going to come. Okay, squeeze again. Relax. We're going to do this 3 times on the same point. Wherever you think the bottom is, it's not. Keep relaxing. Last time, big squeeze. And then relax. Break that pain barrier. All right, find one more point. Okay. Nice. Squeeze, relax. As you get used to it, it's funny, your body just finds that extra relax. Who needs to buy a £300 Theragun? You can just use a little ball. All right, onto the side. So we're going to get into that IT band area. Okay, so just rotate the hips all the way around. You can move your hands and feet to help you find that position. Start at the top, and then I want you to move down to the middle of the leg or the kind of middle of the quad. Stay on the side if that's tight. If you want to rotate around so you're getting more into the kind of side of the quad, do that. And then come all the way down to just above the knee, where that VMO of your quad is, that big bulgy bit. Okay, and just roll across there. All right, well done, team. So we're going to do a little bit of rolling on the upper body as well. So we're going to start, if you've got a foam roller, let's start with this. Okay, so we're going to do the lats, often neglected, the side of the body, side of the upper body. Okay, so you're going to lie down onto the side of your foam roller. I mean, you want it at a slight angle, okay? So you want it pointing slightly upwards as you're looking at it and down towards your hips at the base, okay? And you're going to lie the lat muscle, the muscle underneath your armpit, right on top of that foam roller. Okay, so you should feel a little bit of pressure already. You're going to take your upper hand, elbow down to the floor, okay? And what you're going to do, keeping everything in your lower body as it is, you're just going to open up with that shoulder and upper body, so you're looking across, okay? You're going to feel the foam roller across that lat muscle, okay? And then drop back down with the elbow and open up. Do it a couple of times. You can obviously do this with the ball as well, guys, but it's much more intense. So you might want to use your leg to kind of help you not have too much pressure on it. Okay. You can also do this with any object, to be honest, that isn't going to cause too much pain. Okay, a few times. Then what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this foam roller. So the lats come all the way from the armpits down to kind of the top of the rib cage. So just adjust that foam roller down ever so slightly. Okay, so now we're getting into a new area of the lats. Might be a bit crunchy, it often is at the bottom. Guys, if you're not feeling it, just adjust the position of the foam roller, okay? So there's no right or wrong. Nice, let's try one more position. So maybe you feel it more lower down, maybe you feel it more higher up. I'll let you decide. Couple of rolls all across that muscle. Good, and then of course we're going to flip over to the other side. So obviously your foam roller needs to face the opposite direction this time. The reason we want it at a slight angle is just so it goes directly like across the muscle. So start somewhere in the middle, find that kind of pressure point, and then start to bring that movement in. So we're rolling across. Oh, this is way tighter. Oh. All right, let's move that foam roller. Yep, had enough of that. 3 different positions, 3 rotations. I'll let you guys choose what you're going to do. Right up into the armpit can be good as well, actually, because the top part of the lat, right in that armpit, it's literally like under the pit itself, often gets very neglected because it's quite a difficult place to stretch or to massage. Oh, hello. I think Kat's going to join us now. When you've done that, guys, you can stay with the foam roller, but if you've got the ball, you might want to grab the ball back for the next bit. Got a couple of minutes left. This is Gabby. She just woke up from a nap. So we're going to take the ball and we're going to put it just on the top of the shoulder blade where the traps are. Okay, so you're going to lie down with that ball underneath that shoulder area. Okay, you can again use your feet to help you to kind of position yourself and your hands. And I just want you to roll in little circles across the trap area, shoulders. Might hear a few crunches. Okay, now you can position that ball a little bit closer to the spine and a little bit lower down. Okay, so we're just on the inside of the scapula here. Okay, again, you can roll across, roll up and down, just get into that area. If you sit at a desk quite a lot, this area can be really, really tight. Or if you do a lot of weightlifting. or if you sleep funny. There's lots of things that contribute to these muscles getting quite tight and uncomfortable. Okay, and finally, guys, I want you to move that ball a little bit closer to the shoulder. We're going to rotate so we're on the side now. I'll move back so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so it's just on the kind of back portion of that shoulder. Okay, you're going to roll across the back of the shoulder. Use your hand to kind of help you to apply pressure as needed. And then I want you to come across the very tip of that shoulder. All right, we're quickly going to do the other side because we're almost out of time. But start base, above the scapula. Okay, just underneath the neck, slightly to the side. Start by rolling across that trap. Okay, take it a little bit closer to the spine and a little bit deeper. Okay, not on the spine itself, you want to be on the inside of the spine, but it should be between the spine and the scapula. Okay, try rolling up and down, so just on the kind of edge of that scapula, can get very, very tight. The muscles can get quite sticky. And obviously it's part of the trap muscle as well at the top there. Okay, and finally, guys, you can keep the ball on the back if you want and just rotate onto the side of that shoulder. Okay, and just roll around. Use that hand in front just to apply pressure as you want. Oh. Give me 1 second, cat. There you go, it's very good. All right, bring yourselves up. 1 second. All right, good job, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Look after your bodies. We've done quite a lot of stretching and rolling today, so don't train with too much intensity in the next sort of 12 to 24 hours. Maybe you want to do a little bit more in certain areas that you felt were tighter. I had to go through various bits quite quickly. But I hope you enjoyed it, a bit different to Tom's session. Any feedback or whatever, let me know. If not, see you guys later on.
Cheers, Al. That was awesome.
I was actually gonna ask for a good foot stretch, and you've already covered it, so great.
Oh, cool. Oh, goodness. What was it specifically that you wanted?
So when I was doing the workout today, my feet are really sore, but we've done 2 runs this week, so
yeah.
The either sides of my feet are very sore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's using the bond and really helps, so thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe look at doing some calf raises and stuff as well, just to strengthen the calf muscle. Yeah, do it on a little step so you can get the heel down, but focus on kind of keeping the toes locked onto the step. Yeah, maybe just before or just after you run, it'll just help to sort of look after that calf muscle that tends to then, if it gets tight, it tends to then tighten up in the feet as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. See you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.